My name is Ken Bowler. I live in Colchester, Vermont. I grew up in Jericho, Vermont, which is about 13 miles east of here. It was very countrified back then, 50 years ago. I went to the Mount Mansfield Union High School school district. I played hockey in high school. I played hockey up in Canada for a number of years in summers with hockey school. Uh, Graduated high school and took a trip out west to California, came back, went to high school. Went to college in New Hampshire for 3 years. And then I came back to Vermont shortly. And then I went to Portland, Maine to open an office. My field of work is energy management and heating, ventilating, air conditioning, engineering for commercial environmental uh, conditions. In 1993, I got married to Joanne, and it was fun. We were kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, and I'm not sure either one of us knew what we were doing, but we made it. And we did have in 1999, June 15th, we had Michael, our son, who's now 20 and ready to take on the world. My son is everything to me. Because of my drinking and other issues, the homelessness being the biggie, we weren't really able to connect too well. So we've had a troubled relationship, but it's not absent of love. After my split up with my wife, a separation became inevitable. Somebody came by and wanted to buy the house, so I sold it. And that's when I became homeless for the first time, although it was disguised as not being homeless because I was staying in hotels. I was spending some of the profits from the sale of our house. And I was just putting off where I was at. I mean, my whole life crumbled. I mean, it peaked and crumbled in no time. And I was still in awe of what was going on. I wasn't quite sure how this happened. So the drinking took off some more. And then I started hanging out with some other friends and started couch surfing. Then I was renting rooms, a couple of sublets along the way, but alcohol got in the way of those too. And I just became almost unemployable. I mean, I had good streaks in there and I was doing pretty good things, but there was no sense of security. Every day was a new day. And it prevents you from planning ahead because you don't know, but you know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone a week from now.
Did you ever end up outside?
Oh yeah, I was outside for quite a while. And one thing I would not go to the camps. I had this thing where I just was not going to become homeless. In my head, I always had a way out, and I just had to work harder toward it. But it couldn't happen because I couldn't connect the dots. It's straight fear. There is no piecing your life together. It's only making the facade look acceptable because as much help as I need and I want to ask for, the fear is crazy. Fear of the unknown. Sometimes you dance with the devil that you know rather than the devil you don't. So you don't make change. I don't like the way things are, but I don't like change either. So there's a constant turmoil. I've got several tickets from trespassing for finding a place to sleep. A lot of hospital visits. You know, knowing that you're not wanted but realizing this is the only place I can be. Being in a state of fear is crazy. It shuts you down. I learned how to compartmentalize my emotions so that I could function without them. And after a while, those boxes, those containers get pretty full. And you don't want to go back to them. It's like having a catch-all box in your house. You throw everything you don't want in there. You're not going to go back and dig through it. You already know you don't want it. Other organizations would require paperwork or credentials of some kind, and they send you on your way with a list of to-dos. To a guy that can barely afford bus fare, certainly doesn't have a car, doesn't have a home, and you want me to run around town and get all this stuff by what time? It can't happen. When I went to work with Pathways, a ride was a phone call away with people that kind of know the ropes, and we just go out and get the job done. And I just felt like they're on my team. They're on my side.
Can you show us your apartment? Get a little
Sure.
virtual tour.
Well, here's the door. Actually, it's funny. I have a picture of Hillary, myself, and Billy in front of this. But this is coming out my front door. This is what I look at. That's my car behind that tree. I haven't had a car in 15 years.
Pretty awesome.
So I come in, this is my kitchen area. I'm still working on a kitchen table. That one's a little small.
Mm.
But it's a nice apartment. It's got all the goodies. This is my living room. It's pretty spacious for a little guy like me. This is certainly a launch for me. It's taken longer than I thought to get used to this opportunity. Like I said, every day was high pressure, being homeless, nothing's guaranteed. Having a place to work from, to gain my health. I take a lot of medications and have to eat certain ways, and I'm diabetic. There's a lot of stuff to manage. My health was not in good shape before. Pathways is different and so much more effective. And what I see with Pathways is, before you know it, you're standing at your doorstep. And that was a little overwhelming in itself. There's a huge psychological factor to accepting help. You can offer help, but if you don't feel worthy, you're either going to waste it or just not participate because you don't feel a part of. And Pathways took that right out. I never felt like I had to be so much less than. I had to be so low to ask for help. You know, I always that was a hard ego thing, pride thing to swallow. And I never had to even approach that subject with Pathways. It's just, let's get you housed. What do you need for medical issues? How can we support you in all these other areas of your life so that you can move forward? And if it wasn't for Pathways, I would not be here. And my life and the lives of everybody around me would be so much different, and not in a positive way. I'm so happy and grateful for Pathways and everyone in it. It's a great organization, and it does make a difference.